morning, everyone. Welcome back to another week of Nexus Grain Market Updates. It is Tuesday morning, February 3, 10:41 a.m., and let's get to the markets. At the moment, old crop corn is trading up 2 pennies. That puts me at $4 to $4.03 for old crop corn across my terminal markets. I'm up a penny for new crop corn at $4.16 right now. Soybeans right now are trading up 6 pennies at $9.96 to $10.01 for old crop. New crop soybeans are trading up 4 pennies at $10.04 to $10.09. Those markets right now are steady to maybe about 3 or 4 cents lower than we were a month ago on corn. Soybean market right now, prices I just quoted you are up about 20 cents from 30 days ago. As far as really what's going on in the news, I will make just a tiny divergence from my normal grain markets, talk a little bit about maybe a little bit of macros right now this morning. Price of gold actually is down about 20% in the past 2 or 3 days, mainly believed influenced by maybe perhaps an appointment in the Fed, perhaps the U.S. posturing with the strength of the dollar, relative, in fact, weakness of the dollar. That's what's actually giving us some of our strength in our markets today. But for whatever it is, there seems to be a considerable amount of flight out of precious metals in the past couple of days. And really that tells us that perhaps there is some confidence in what I would consider our normal economy. Let's get back to the grain markets, though. Export news this morning, corn actually was a pretty good number, 44.7 million bushels of corn packaged up and shipped out of the country. That was right at the middle of the trade range. Soybean, 48.2, that's at the top side of the trade range. I'm going to take the opposite side of a lot of analysts. I think that a good share of our soybean market can catch up. It won't all catch up. I still believe, though, that we are on track to set probably somewhere around that 8% stocks-to-use ratio when we get to the end of this year. We get to our carryout for soybeans. It should land at about 8%. I am in favor of a strong soybean market out there, particularly when you look at the strength of the dollar versus the real. The dollar is becoming a little more of a bargain, and again, that's where our soybeans are traded versus the dollar. One thing that I wanted to touch on today, a monthly that comes out, is the both fats and oils and grain crushings. So essentially what that is domestic consumption, domestic disappearance of both corn and soybeans. I like to compare those numbers versus annualized calculations and the private reporting services. In this case, Trade Association of NOPA on the soybean end of things. The fats and oils reported 229.9 million bushels of soybeans processed in the month of December. That compares to 225 for NOPA. That number checks out pretty good. Not everybody that's in that business is a member of NOPA, and there is some slight variation with reporting intervals regarding those numbers. Nonetheless, those check out pretty well. As far as the product yields goes, that can vary somewhat from month to month. I'm not going to change my product estimations this early in the season. The crushings for corn, that's right on the money. 498 million bushels of corn in the month of December consumed for ethanol production, around 36% for other. That's mainly your high fructose corn sweeteners. The ethanol number that we've seen in front of us, when I annualize that out, that comes out to 5.9 billion. Compares to a NAS number of 5.6. So those numbers are checking out pretty well. Again, this time of year, other than the situation that we had with natural gas, you will tend to see your plants running fairly heavy. We get into shutdown season, further into the spring and summer. We may see some production tail off just a little bit. But that's the numbers as it's dropping. Right now it's dropping about 300 million bushels heavy versus the NAS estimate. As far as what's going up on the horizon, we have a crop production report on the 10th of February. Again, I've said this before, don't look for anything particularly alarming to come out there. The acres that have been reported last month, we're going to stick with that for a while, as well as the yields. We may see some slight tweaks. I don't look for anything particularly dramatic. That is really about it, what's going on in the markets. Here nationally, I am watching very closely. I'm watching the La Nina event that continues to occur in the equatorial region of the Pacific. It is largely known that will convert into a La Nina, depending on what time of year and how quickly that happens as to what we're really going to be in for a particularly early summer season. Too early to tell that right now. I will tell you that the Eastern Corn Belt, for those of you that look at your drought monitors, the drought monitors are showing a little bit of dry soil conditions in the east. There's a couple of different models I look at. I'm going to show you an example of that here about now to illustrate that, yes, as far as Iowa goes, we're sitting pretty good for moisture right now. Coming up with Nexus, you will be receiving postcards, both electronically and in the mail. We have a couple of grower summits coming up, one in Mason City on the 25th at Nyack from 2 to 7. We have one the next day on the 26th of February, Austin, Minnesota from 8:15 in the morning to 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So we look forward to seeing all of you there. We look forward to your RSVPs. So I want you to know that we appreciate you very much. Don't be surprised if you get a call from one of our representatives asking for maybe an update of an email address or so on and so forth. We strive to keep our database as current as possible. We want to provide the greatest amount of service, the greatest level of service that we can possibly do, and with that, keeping our data current is a good part of that. So if you get a call from one of our representatives, don't be surprised. We're out to serve you the best that we can. So, with that said, I'm going to sign off. Reach out to any one of us with anything that you may have, and we appreciate your business. Thank you again, and goodbye.